Behind me is the Safeway grocery store in Yakima, Washington. Safeway is a huge West Coast chain of grocery stores that we just don't have in Minnesota. When I was a child, Safeway and Albertsons were competitors, and now it looks like they have merged. Safeway grocery stores are much as I remember from my childhood in the 70s, although they're much larger. They were small neighborhood grocery stores at the time, and now they just stretch on like almost like Walmart. And of course, it has a Starbucks inside. But the good news about Safeway grocery store is that I can always count on them to have a special section labeled just for maple bars. They're unusually low today. It must be because it's midweek. This is an item that's not sold in Minnesota. And even if you see an item that looks similar, called a Long John, which is occasionally maple iced, it's just not the same as a maple bar with this crisscrossed bottom, never filled because it's not a Long John, and is a fixture of my childhood, not available in Minnesota. I may be in Weight Watchers, but this is an emergency because this maple bar will not be available tomorrow as I arrive in Minnesota later tonight. This is Cub Foods, the main grocery store here in Minnesota. We don't have Safeway or Albertsons. And this is a Minnesotan pastry case. There really is no special section called maple bars in Minnesota. When I try to describe them to people, they're usually very surprised. And here we have a section of what we call Long Johns. They're the long, almost maple bar shaped pastry that is sometimes custard filled. And I'm very surprised and pleased right now to see that we do have a Long John in this case here in Minnesota that is maple iced. That's very rare for me to find that, so it's this video is kind of making a liar out of me now. These are what a Minnesotan calls bear claws, and I was recently informed that back in Washington state a bear claw is something else. But this is a Minnesotan pastry case here at Cub Food, and we don't really have a maple bar section. And maple bars are an unknown pastry here.